He thought his life was over.
6 failures.
No money. No hope. But then, at 4:30 in the morning, one unexpected knock on his door changed everything. Who was behind that door? And what was inside that mysterious envelope that could turn a broken man into a legend? Stay till the end to witness a twist that will hit you harder than motivation ever could. Backhand index pointing right, watch now. And ask yourself, are you really living, or just existing? It was 4:30 in the morning. The air outside was cold, heavy, and silent.
Only the sound of distant dogs barking broke the stillness.
Ryan sat on his small wooden chair, his eyes half open, his hands trembling slightly. His laptop screen glowed dimly in the dark room, the cursor blinking like a heartbeat. He whispered to himself, "Just one more try." His voice cracked, rough from exhaustion. For the past 6 months, he had been chasing one goal, to start his own online business. He had failed 5 times already. Each time, he lost money, sleep, and a piece of his confidence. But this time he felt something different. Not hope, but pressure. A strange, burning pressure in his chest that told him this might be his last chance. His mother's voice echoed in his head. "Ryan, maybe you should stop. You have already wasted enough time." But her words only made him stare harder at the screen. He typed, deleted, typed again. Hours passed. The sun slowly crept into the room, lighting up the cracked walls and the pile of papers beside him. He looked at the clock, 7:10 a.m. His eyes were red. His mind, spinning. He leaned back and whispered, "Success is not always easy, bro.
Just it may with reality."
He stood up and walked to the window. Outside, people were already rushing, some to work, some to school, some chasing their own version of success. He felt a strange chill run through his spine. He thought about his best friend, Adil, who used to dream big with him. But Adil had given up. Now, he worked in a small shop, tired and hopeless. Ryan did not want that life. He wanted to fight, even if it broke him. Then suddenly, his phone buzzed. A new email. From the company he had applied to 3 months ago. His heart started to pound. He opened it slowly. He opened the email with shaking hands. The subject line read, "Regarding your application, final decision." His heartbeat grew louder. Each pulse felt like thunder in his chest. He clicked it open. His eyes darted across the first line, "We appreciate your interest." His stomach dropped. He knew what that meant. Rejection. Again. He closed the laptop slowly, leaned forward, and covered his face. For a few seconds, he could not breathe. The weight of failure sat heavy on his shoulders. He whispered, Maybe I am not meant for this." The room felt colder now.
The silence, almost painful.
Even the ticking clock seemed to mock him. He stood up and looked around. The walls looked smaller.
The air, thicker.
He walked to the small mirror on his wall.
His reflection stared back, tired eyes, messier, hopeless face.
But then, something inside him shifted. He remembered the night when his father said, "A real man does not quit after losing.
He learns why he lost."
Ryan clenched his fists. Tears filled his eyes, but they were not tears of weakness this time. They were fire. He whispered to himself, "All right.
It may with reality.
But I will hit back harder." He sat again, opened a blank page, and wrote at the top in bold letters, "Start again, no excuses." He began sketching a new plan.
Not for money, not for fame.
But to prove to himself that he was not finished yet. The morning light now filled the room, and for the first time in months, it did not feel cold. Hours passed. He researched, learned, wrote ideas, deleted half, and rewrote again. He forgot about the time. By nightfall, a new concept was born. Something simple but powerful. Something that came from his failures, not his dreams. He smiled faintly, whispering, This feels real." But just as he was about to save his file, the power went out. The screen went black.
Total silence.
He froze. Every muscle in his body locked in shock. All his work, gone. For a few seconds, Rayan just stared into the darkness. The soft hum of the ceiling fan had stopped. The room was filled with the sound of his own heartbeat. He could not move. He could not think. His chest tightened, his hands gripping the edge of the table, as if holding on to what had already slipped away. Then, frustration exploded inside him. He slammed his fist against the desk. "Why does this keep happening to me?" he shouted.
The sound echoed off the walls.
It was not just anger. It was pain. Years of struggle crashing in one moment. He sat down again, breathing heavily. The darkness around him felt alive, whispering doubts in his ear.
You are wasting your life. You are not good enough. You will fail again.
His mind repeated those words like poison. But then, his eyes caught something, a small notebook lying near the edge of the table. Its cover was torn, its pages worn out. He picked it up. It was his old dream book, the one he used to write in when he first started chasing success. He flipped through the pages. Each line was filled with energy, belief, and raw ambition. He smiled bitterly. One page stood out. It said,
If life breaks you, rebuild stronger.
But never stop. He read it again. And again. Something inside him reignited. He stood up, took a deep breath, and whispered, "No electricity. Fine. I still have light inside me." He grabbed a candle from the shelf, lit it, and the small flame began to dance. Its soft glow spread across the room, touching the papers, the walls, and his tired face. He opened his notebook and began rewriting everything. From memory. Each line sharper. Each idea clearer. The flame flickered as if cheering him on. Outside, the world was asleep. Inside, Rayan was reborn.
Hours later, Asdon touched the sky again.
He looked at the new plan, handwritten, pure, and powerful. He smiled, whispering, "Success is not easy, but this is what real looks like." He closed his notebook gently. This time, he was not chasing success. He was becoming it. But just then, a loud knock came at his door. Once, twice, then a pause. Rayan froze. Who could it be at this hour?
The knock came again, harder this time. Rayan's pulse quickened. The candle flame trembled slightly,
throwing long shadows across the room. He turned his head slowly toward the door. The knocking stopped. Silence filled the air again, sharp, tense, almost unreal. He stood up, his footsteps cautious on the old floorboards. Each creak felt like thunder in the quiet dawn. He reached the door and whispered, "Who is it?" No answer. His breath grew shallow. He pressed his ear against the door. Nothing. Just the faint wind outside, brushing against the window. He hesitated, then slowly turned the handle. The door opened with a soft click. And there, standing in front of him, was a man. Tall, wearing a black jacket, eyes hidden behind dark glasses. In his hand, a brown envelope. "Rayan Khan?" the man asked in a low, calm voice. Rayan nodded nervously. "Yes, that's me." The man handed him the envelope.
From the Future Vision program.
"You applied a while back." Rayan froze. He had completely forgotten about it. That was one of the very first programs he had ever applied to, before all his failures. He took the envelope carefully.
The man gave a slight nod and walked away without another word.
Rayan closed the door, locked it, and sat down on his chair again. His hands trembled as he tore it open. Inside was a letter, printed neatly, with an official logo at the top. He began to read. His eyes widened with each line.
Dear Mr. Rayan Khan,
we are pleased to inform you that your application has been reviewed and accepted. Your startup proposal has been selected for funding and mentorship under our innovation program. Please report to our headquarters within 7 days. He could not believe it. He read it twice, then a third time. Tears rolled down his face, this time not from failure, but from disbelief. He laughed softly, shaking his head. After all the nights of struggle, rejection, and breakdowns, this letter felt unreal. He whispered, "So, this is what it means to not waste your life." He stood up, looked at the sunrise breaking through his window. and felt the warmth of a new beginning. For the first time in years, the light outside felt like it belonged to him. He held the letter close to his chest and whispered, "Success is not always easy, bro. But reality just hit me back."